You know what? Since we've already discovered Tebandra, let's go on. Let's go and find Rados' descendant. Oh, I'm just hitting M and it wasn't doing anything. I mean, I know where it is. I've already discovered it. And I did say I wanted to go back to some of the towns and townships that I had found already too, so it works out perfectly. You see anything down there?
Beyond you. Who are you, Oakley?
Yeah, I hear it too.
Oh no. Oh no.
Alright.
Oh, Rados, run! No, Rados, don't be a hero. Get inside. We need you alive.
Messed with the wrong Reachman.
I was hoping it would be the Griffin, that the Griffin decided to show up and say howdy. Nope. Is he gonna land? Is he actually gonna attack? Or he could fly right into the mountain. You gonna come back out? You did. There we go. There we go.
Messed with the wrong Reachman.
I've got two different songs playing right now. There's two different combat tracks playing simultaneously. Oh god, yeah, no, that doesn't sound great. There we go. Just one now? Maybe not. Oh, it's a legendary dragon, of course. Oh, it's gonna take a while to kill. There we go. I really need to make more bolts. What if we could just push him into the river?
I would say these priests are using us to do their dirty work.
Like, what if we could just push his body into the river right there? Not even a river, it's a lake, but... Imagine someone goes looking for treasure at the bottom of the lake, they just find a dragon skeleton, and they go, oh god. How did that get here? When did that get here? Well, I'm glad you survived all that.
Yeah.
Hello, Rados. I'm George. I have a message from Arnima.
Good day. Nice to see you people haven't been overrun by plague. The moment I hear you cough, though...
Very relatable. Very current. It's about your grandfather Rados, namely his armor.
Oh, by the eight, not again. Will my children be expected to become fabled heroes too?
Probably. So you've been sought out before, unsurprisingly.
A dozen times at least. And my father before me. Each time someone's horse is stolen or some exile's mugger merchant.
I doubt that Rados concerned himself with such...
Tell me about it. They claim to respect him, yet they put him on display in death. Deny the old man burial for years. You seem alright. And I do hate to make you a bearer of bad news. Let me fetch you some wine for your trouble.
Ooh, wine. No, Rados, you have to come with me. Have you heard about the Witchmen?
Who hasn't? Why?
They aren't entirely themselves. Some really strange magic is afoot. Strange and very dark. And they're getting ready to make a move on Arnima.
Dark magic? That actually sounds worthy of Rados. You know what? You're right. Last thing I want is to go down in history as Rados, twice as tall and twice as yellow as any. I'm in, friend. Lead the way.
I do feel bad for him in the sense that he just wants to live his life, and people keep coming up to him. It's like, well, because your grandfather was great, you better be great too. What was Raven Spring like?
Oh, none too unusual. There was even a joke that that's what you call a temple, a sewer and a wall brought together. However, there was a real sense of community. We were proud like the Reachmen should be. We're older than the three empires combined. Most of the world doesn't know we exist, and the Britons want to believe we don't. Back then, Mortivane seemed like the finest lord the place had ever seen. Strict but fair, blunt but honest, a terrific swordsman on top of that.
It's as if we were speaking of two different towns entirely.
Well, the siege of Raven Spring had changed it all. Those 2 months broke some in ways healers could do nothing about. The hero's death, the doom of Grey Belmore, the bodies mounted on the pikes. My father couldn't handle Rados' demise. Took to the bottle, and in the following years there wasn't much left of him. And Mortefane had lost his wife. That alone had made a man once called Maid of Iron, fearful for his life, secretive and cruel. And soon he had the bodies on the pikes make a return. This new Mortefane could have been made of iron, all right. So many he had put to death with it.
So he did go mad. Why didn't anybody oppose his rule?
Anyone could be accused of treason and put to death, neither painless nor swift. So the people were afraid of gathering or even talking too loud. We felt like we were living on borrowed time. No one dared speak up against the Lord, but by that time he was so severely paranoid he needed an excuse rather than a reason. And all of it under the watchful dead eye of old Rados, hoisted like a deer carcass. It was sickening. So I left. Simple as that. Some would say I should have tried to be the big damn hero Jack has had a plan already, no doubt, but it's the soul of the town that was gone, and bringing that back is no task for a blade. And that's the end of my story so far.
And quite a story it is.
As always, you foreigners.
What was the Reach like before all this? The Witchmen? The Orcs?
That's simple. There was no Reach before that. The Reach is, and always has been, its people. And the Reachmen haven't had a calm night in centuries. Orcs, Witchmen, Nords, Bretons. And it's not like the Bretons themselves get along.
And here I thought I've left Civil War in Skyrim.
You wish. There's a bleeding mess of a kingdom next to ours called Wayrest, and some 14 years ago we went to war with it. King Uta, also called the Owl.
For his wisdom?
Nay, his cheeks. Uta had some beautiful daughters, you see, each one from a different queen. And King Sigmund was quite fond of one of them, something Uta wasn't too fond of himself. In the span of 2 weeks, more than 1,000 men were dead on both
alright,
sides.
just step right up
Such
there.
was the war over a princess.
Oh, step on up, step on up. A beautiful woman is as good a cause as any.
Not when she's 9 years of age.
Never mind. Oh, no.
Damn near cost his majesty his head. During one of his visits, Uta had Sigmund taken prisoner, and his retainers banished from the kingdom.
That's a solid precaution against the war. Did he escape?
Aye, some weeks later. Small wonder he wanted to see Wayrest go up in flames after such humiliation. I was levied 3 days after, and a week later, the army was well on the move towards Wayrest. Must have looked weird back in Evermore. Couldn't do it before, so many of his own men were slaughtered, it seems. Funny thing is, I've always hoped to visit the city of Wayrest as a child. Now I'm partly to blame that I never will.
Tell me about the war itself. Those 2 weeks you mentioned.
Nasty is the word that comes to mind. We were outnumbering them 6 to 1, but the skirmishes were so fierce. Our Venturiers had set the countryside ablaze with their spells. Those were windy months, so by the time my unit had reached the city of Wayrest, the smoke was everywhere. And let me tell you, war is hard enough even when you can breathe.
That does sound rough. What happened to Wayrest after they surrendered?
Nothing good. The trade had stopped, the crime ran rampant, and in the following years not a corner remained in the entire realm that wasn't raided and sacked. Today one of the base's largest cities is not even worth conquering anymore, and half our military has to guard the border against those who blame Evermore.
I wonder, how did Sigmund manage to escape after all?
That's no wonder. It was broken up by the hand-picked squad of scouts. They crossed the border wearing burlap robes and posing for pilgrims. One of them, a devout priest of Mara running an orphanage, paid some guards off to see the molester king and spit in his face. Made quite a scene, you can
Really don't like the king.
He also passed Sigmund a scroll of recall with a mark already placed in the woods nearby. Not a single drop of blood shed.
And you know this how exactly?
Well, it wasn't me who told you this, but a certain scout commander from Arnima kind of came up with the whole plan.
Jackos?
Wasn't me who told you, friend.
My lips are sealed. You've got friends in Arnima. Friends gotta mean something in a place like this.
Well, I wasn't planning on leaving my friends, you know? I was leaving the town Ravenspring had become.
On your way.
So is he following me now? He is. Perfect. Well, let's bring him back.
I'm right behind you.
I know I just met him, but I really like him. I just met him, but he's already my friend.
Hello?
Is Arnima as you remember it, Rados? Green skies, a lot of sick people. Also, evil griffins hiding in the mountains that want to eat children that they deem to be no longer innocent. I can see why you moved away. I can see why you didn't really want to come back. In addition to not really wanting to be a hero or anything.
Come for aid?
I brought him back, as you requested.
You've succeeded where many of those who came before had failed. I was right in sending you. Must have made a strong argument for a man to leave the safety of the West for the chaos here.
Yeah, don't make me regret it. Such safety is why he left. He seeks adventure.
Just like Rados, then. It may be that we rekindle the fighting spirit here. Make us strong again. And who better to lead the way than you two heroes?
Me? We'll do our best.
I truly admire such zeal in the face of uncertainty. Envy it even. Now if only I worship the more violent gods. Ha! Now I shouldn't blaspheme just before your quest north. You'll need all the Divine's fortune, and all the courage us mortals can summon in these dark hours.
How do you cope with the suffering here?
I would love to tell you that faith alone keeps me going.
Oh, he gave me a priest hat.
Than appeasing the gods. Only those with black hearts could look the other way. So I stay, and do the best I can. A little alchemist corner set up in our temple to serve brew, potions, and other relief. To letting the injured rest within the grace of their gods.
I'm guessing you don't travel much beyond these walls, then?
Unfortunately, no. I rely on the missionary to do that for me. Vicariously living through his exploits unburdens my mind for a while. Anything to stop thinking about the reality here.
Does the curse at Belmore pose a threat to this town?
As apparent as the danger may appear, the omens who've made that cursed land their home haven't strayed a feet from their dark domicile. Seems those souls are still trapped in that terrible siege 30 years ago. Even the scholars from Daggerfall were awestruck at the phenomenon, assuring us that these dead are confined upon the packed dirt from whence they fell.
And no one has sought to lift this curse?
If it was so easy, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. Whatever solution that could alleviate this scourge vanished with the shamans who performed the ritual.
So we just find a shaman and get her to tell us about the curse?
Talking like a true native, those guards had done exactly that when the siege was lifted. Suffice to say, nothing was achieved except dozens of flayed shamans draping our walls. Just reminiscing on that sight can make one's stomach churn.
Yeah, I'll just lose my appetite if we talk about it much longer.
Farewell.
Okay, so the next quest just involves talking to Rados. I'm gonna let him stay here for a little bit. I'm gonna find some other side quests in the meantime. Nothing for you, but we haven't done too many side quests in Arnima, so I'm sure we'll be able to find some.
Spit it out.
Why did that man get executed?
Why are you asking?
Well, you know, it happened several parts ago and I just forgot to ask anyone. I just wanted to know if justice was served.
He was put to the axe for being caught in the Lord's residence. We don't tolerate treachery here. Discipline makes the people stronger.
Or kills them. Oh, he didn't want to continue that conversation at all, huh?
You are right.
Got something to say?
Was Rados important for the guard?
Incontrovertibly so. His presence in these walls gave people a figure to rally around, brimming with charisma, a mutual sense of belonging to those who adored him. He was the Reachman's hero. Well, for the civilized of the Reach. Many have tried to measure up to his legacy, and many have failed. It seems those who mirror his physique and martial prowess are found wanting in mind, such as those large lads clad in ebony that you've surely seen on your way to me.
Oh, I have. Who are those two? Mech and Sek?
Knights of Evermore. A parody that went from tragedy to farce almost immediately after their making. Knights have a whole different connotation in Evermore, it seems. The slightly taller one is Mech, slow in the brain but still capable of all the savagery that any mad reachman can mete out. Must have been dropped on his head as a babe. He's reined in by his more cunning and terrifically more sinister brother Sek. And that Sek is a whole new beast. A whole new load for knighthood. Or got a lifelong friend if it meant another pouch of gold or another accolade from the king. In fact, he did just that to earn his knighthood. The man was at Munster. Those who saw him in the slaughter shuddered upon recalling his debauched behaviour. Never knew a man could go through so many women within a night, slaying twice that number in men with his hammer.
Oh.
And all at the ripe age of 16. Biggest man you'd have met for his age, mind you. Just another show of nature's cruel inequality.
You know, I get real strong Game of Thrones vibes from them. It reminds me of The Mountain and the Hound. So it doesn't take much except fame or infamy to become a knight?
Made enough gold for the king. No matter the means, you're knighted. Brought the king another girl to Gorka, you're a knight. Burnt a whole village to the ground because someone took the king's name in vain, you're a knight.
I get it.
Hope you do. And I want you to understand our predicament when it comes to current morale. You can't have pride when it's based on farce and criminality. Corruption seeps through every crevice of our kingdom. Got carried away. I am sworn to this town's defence and will lay down my life for the people. Don't take my words as a slight against any of my peers. We'll talk again.
See, I just find it really, really well done and nuanced. Despite the fact that Arnima is, in the region that's considered part of the more savage and uncultured lands, you still have people here who call out the ridiculousness, the lack of morals in Evermore, in the more sophisticated, in the supposedly more cultured kingdom. And it kind of helps to show that divide between the two. It helps show the contrast between the two. How even here in Arnima, where things are much more bleak, they can still realize the hypocrisy of Evermore and the king and his men. Ugh. Watch where you step. Oh, hey, there they are. I like how they even have, oh, we're gonna give you a bigger training dummy because you're bigger.
Yeah.
Why are you so tall?
Why are you so ugly?
I was born this way, jackass. How did you get that armor?
Tooth Fairy. Crushed a couple of orc skulls and put all their teeth under my pillow. When I woke up, there it was. You should try it.
Man, I remember liking you guys the first time I played this
On your
mod.
way.
You guys were probably always assholes and I just didn't realize it at the time, or maybe the dialogue wasn't there the first time around. But either way, fuck you guys now. You guys suck.
I could go for a pint right about now.
Ulgrin keeps on talking about the inn. I guess it's about time we finally go there, huh? Listen, he just wants a drink. I just want quests. We're not the same.
You need? Something you need?
Oh, Brenton, the Breton. Got any work for me?
The council just put out a bounty. Take a look. Hope you're up for it.
Something you need?
Bounty added, map updated, bounty target at Vagabond's Vein. Let's see what that is. Oh, it's right there. That's not too bad. Okay.
Something you need?
And I realize that bounties are probably just a little bit less exciting in terms of quests, but gives me a chance to explore different locations too.
Something you need?
Need something?
Just trying to see if there's anyone else here who wants to give me anything.
Something you
Yes?
need?
Well, it seems that's it for the inn. Turns out there's nobody else here to give me a quest right now. I also realized that I'm not going to do every single
Something you
quest in the mod, not even every single side quest, because there's the entire set of quests in the Outlaw Refuge area, which I don't know if I'll be getting into that. I don't know if I'll be doing the
Let's go settle at the inn
the
for a
unmore and
bit.
savory side
My
of
legs
things
are
this time
begging
around.
for a rest.
I know I've kind of talked about it before, and it would just take a lot of time. It would take a lot of time, but I really like when mods do have either their own website or filled out pages on, like, the Skyrim Mods Wikia and stuff like that. Because it can be really helpful to track down different quests if you're maybe not entirely sure where to go, if you don't know the extent of what quests or side quests are in a mod. And granted, I think I found a wiki page for Beyond Reach. It just wasn't entirely filled out, or I don't think it was entirely updated yet, but given that the mod isn't done yet, given that the mod is still in development, also makes sense. I also absolutely get that not being done yet. Might as well just wait for the final version before taking that time, because everything right now really is subject to change when you think about it, too. Even the main quest line, even though it's done, even though it's fully playable, could be subject to change at this moment. Now, I didn't even want to fight them, but they came at me. They rushed at me, so I just wanted to take them out. Oh, Vagabond's Vein. Is that the cave that we passed by? The mine that we passed by when we were going to see the griffin? I think it is. Right before we saved that child from being eaten because we time traveled back in time. Still need to find out where it is. I'm guessing that's just going to be tied to either time waited in the mod or maybe like a certain quest stage later on. Most likely tied to a specific quest, because as it is, the Griffin quest popped up for us immediately at a certain point in the mod, at a certain stage in the mod. So I'm guessing the return of the Griffin is going to be based on
Yeah, I hear it too.
another quest stage as well. And we got the initial quest for getting artifacts of Rados. So my best bet would be if we
places, wrecking faces.
continue the quest line for Rados, that's when the Griffin would return. Or at least, hey, to me that makes sense.
And I thought today
I was
going to
hoping
be
he wouldn't.
boring.
I was hoping he wouldn't hear me. I was hoping he wasn't gonna see me. Oh well. I was hoping I'd hit both of you. Well, I tried. It was close. It was very close. Man, you're fucking tanky.
Mug me off.
For a dude who's got his whole fucking stomach exposed,
I'll carve you up.
tankier than I would have expected.
Left to the wrong region.
Ulgrin can't even kill him.
Right between your eyes. Some people feel they have
It's a
no other
really
choice
cool
except
location.
banditry.
Look at that. That is
Even then,
so
if they come
treacherous.
at you,
You could not
you lay them
pay
low.
me
No time
to
for pity when
live
your
in
life's
that,
at
to
stake.
stay in that. All it takes is just one rope to snap for there to be a little bit too much weight, and just bam, that's plummeting down. I guess bandits don't care, but me? Oh, God.
I hear it too.
I don't hate heights, but suffice it to say I'm maybe a little bit more reserved about certain situations involving heights. If it seems like, maybe there aren't the greatest safety standards.
Going places, wrecking faces.
Have you ever seen those videos of the, like the glass bridges or glass walkways where you can walk over a gorge and look down? Yeah. I know it's reinforced glass. I know they even take your shoes off or make you take your shoes off for those, but no. I probably would not be able to do it myself. Probably just not for me. Now, I know I don't need to kill them. I know I don't need to. I'm just being stubborn. Okay, you know what? I'm killing you just for that.
Wrecking faces.
The threat? Yeah. You're dying just for that. There's a lot of really cool variety. in terms of locations. I think I've mentioned it before, but I keep on finding new locations that continue to emphasize that point. I am convinced that this is ultimately one of the bigger New World mods out there.
Easier than expected.
Like, to me, this is easily bigger than Beyond Skyrim Bruma. Wait, who did that? Which, I mean, it's supposed to be bigger than Beyond Skyrim Bruma. This is an entire province, or will be an entire province. But the size, the scale, the variety of content, it's absolutely bigger than a lot of the new land mods I've played before. Falscar, Midwood Isle, and so on and so forth. And size isn't everything, I know it, but there's definitely something to be said for the amount of content in this world space, given how large it is. It'd be one thing if it was a large, empty area, but no, it's really, really, really well filled in, just from the areas that I've gone to so far. And that's always one of the big things for me with a new land mod. Like, yeah, you made a large area, you made a large playable area, but, what are you gonna do with it? There's no reason to make a mod that's, you know, the size of 3 or 4 of Skyrim's holds if it's just empty. If there's just nothing to do. It's like, okay, cool, you made a flat piece of land. And there's, one town with 5 people and none of them talk. Like, I know work still goes into even getting a mod that far, but at a certain point, it's like, okay, well, you can't just advertise your mod as being, like, 3 or 4 holes if there's nothing to do in them. The substance matters a little bit more than, the size. A lot of innuendo could be made here. Oh, it's a little troll! That's what I say about YouTube comments. Oh. Okay. I don't know if we're gonna find the key here. I just kind of wandered in here anyway. I was just walking and talking. Lonely Griffin's Retreat. We'll come back another time. It might be important for something else. I've got the bounty done. Let's just turn that in, and then let's talk to Rados. The other thing is likely that I came to Arnima looking for side quests, and I've probably done a handful of the quests based out of here already. It's most likely going to be Evermore that I really want to go to for more and more side quests, since I've already spent more time in Arnima, since it took me how long to actually make it to Evermore. But still, I just kind of wanted to, like, look through a little bit. I wanted to see what was going on here.
Hello?
I've killed the vagabonds at... Or, I've killed the bounty at Vagabond's Retreat. I'm here for the reward.
Great work. Hope the coin satisfies.
Oh, it does. Ooh, 300 total.
Something you need.
Another thing that I can see is if there might be more quests at the Imperial Outpost, at the Imperial Fort. So that might be worth checking out at another point, too. Right now, let's talk to Rados. Let's see what's going on there. But I'll keep all those other potential quest givers in mind.
Hello?
But I'll keep all those other potential quest givers in mind as well.